welcome to this post-game press conference of the 2025 NCAA Division III Men's Lacrosse Tournament. In second round action today, Salisbury defeating St. Mary's 17-5. Left to right, representatives of the victorious Salisbury team. We have Nicholas Ransom, Herraiz, Riley Strub, and head coach Jim Berkman. So, Coach, we'll start with you. Just thoughts on the 60 minutes that was.
Well, we're excited to be advancing. Congratulations to St. Mary's and Coach Childs on a great season, a conference champion, and then winning a first-round game. Thought they came out of the gate really well today. We made a few mental mistakes in the first half, but still limited them in their scoring opportunities. And then we just shut the door down in the last 30 minutes of the game. A couple key factors, I think, in the last 30 minutes were obviously the Faceoff X. I think Lamphy was 19 for 23, so we dominated possession and wore him down a little bit. I also think that, the wing play of Johnny DeFazio with 9 ground balls, and then a tribute to our team, and one of the reasons that we came to victory last weekend is, again, we were single digits on the turnovers today. We only had 9 turnovers, and when you're playing with that many possessions and in a game that fast, to keep your turnovers below 10 always gives you a chance to win, and proud of our guys for respecting the ball today.
Nicholas, you and your defense shut out the Seahawks in the second half. What sorts of adjustments did you make coming out of the halftime locker room?
It's just doing the little things. Just paying attention more, always watching your guy a tad bit more, being more aggressive, just being a tad bit more focused. I think St. Mary's is an excellent team, and I think we first round been a little bit lazier, and we just didn't respect them too much in the first half, and then turned it around in the second.
And Connor, 4 assists for you as part of your 5 points. You transferred here over the summertime. How long did it take you to really mesh with your attackers and become so important to this offense?
Yeah, they honestly made it easy for me when you're playing with such great players like Bryce Bromwell, Riley Strub. They just make it so easy for me. It really didn't take too much time to adjust to anything. It was just, seeing Riley Strub with his hands free, it's going to go every time. So just giving him the ball and letting him work.
And Riley, you had the bulk of your 4 goals in that first quarter at the beginning of the game. What was working for you so well over those first 15-plus minutes?
Yeah, I think we talked a lot about setting an up pick and then coming down the alley, and then whether it was shooting off that, moving it through X2 Connor, or even moving it back up top. We've really focused on that.
All right, I'll open it up to the press.
Guys, first off, congratulations, great game. I wanted to ask about, Coach, for you specifically, about the face-offs and the choice you chose to dress 2 of your 3 Fogos. Can you talk about what your reasoning or what your belief was in choosing to do that?
What do you mean 2 of the 3 focus? As far as dressing?
Yes, as far as suiting up.
Well, I just think that maybe there were some other guys on the team that were a little bit more deserving than the 3rd Fogo. Obviously, we'll have to reevaluate tonight depending on the severity of CJ's leg, what we'll have to do tomorrow. But we just gave some other people an opportunity that maybe were a little bit more deserving in regard to their effort and their commitment and everything else and where they were in their careers. That sometimes that's more important than maybe a 3rd guy getting 1 face-off at this point. It's about the culture and, your commitment to it. And sometimes I think, and it was great to see those guys, get a chance. Joey Holleran score a goal there at the end, and Robbie Donnelly, who's been through just a tremendous battle with 2 blowing out ACLs to get in the game. Those guys were very deserving to be there at that point.
Riley and Connor, you can chime in on this question too. How did it feel to get NCAA tournament action? I know, Riley, you played on the second line in 2023, but to really get full time, contribute to the game in a big way. How did it feel to get on the board?
Yeah, I think it's great. The atmosphere that is here is just crazy. Even the St. Mary's parents and fans, it just creates a great atmosphere. They're chirping, we're chirping. It's just great to play.
Connor, your first time here.
Yeah, this is my first win in the NCAA playoffs, so it's super exciting. Super excited to play tomorrow, so just kind of looking forward on everything. Just super grateful to be here. Thankful for the opportunity. I'm not going to, kind of sit on it, but just got to get after it.
Nick, in the 2 games against St. Mary's, you had really good games. What changed? Was there any different looks that they gave you that you were seeing the ball a little bit better? Just the team defense overall was making you make those saves.
Yeah, I mean, the team defense is great, and then I'm kind of from that area, so I know most of the guys, I know the coach. So I kind of play a little bit more relaxed playing these guys because it feels like, every day in the summer and then growing up. So I just kind of relaxed a tad bit more and just enjoyed it, seeing those guys on the other side.
Coach, what's going to be your main takeaway from this battle we're going to see in like a half hour, Dickinson, Dickinson?
This is a really unpredictable game. Dickinson's played extremely well of recent. They've made some dramatic changes in their personnel. Guys that were second and third leading scorers on last year's team are hardly playing, and they've put some new people in the lineup, and they've gone with moved an attackman to the first midfield, and they've kind of been on a little bit of a roll with it. And and Dennison has been a little bit of a Jekyll and Hyde. They've had a couple really unbelievable wins, going to York and beating York, and even though it was a one-goal game, it really wasn't a one-goal game because they were up 6 or 7 goals in the fourth quarter, and then beating a great W&L team at home, but then coming and getting beat pretty bad by Lynchburg at home, and then getting beat last week, after giving up 9 goals in a row to Ohio Wesleyan. So, I don't know if Jekyll's going to show up or Hyde's going to show up. I think if their best effort comes, I think it'll be a hell of a game today. And obviously the Faceoff will play another big important part today too.
This is kind of a question for anyone. You guys dealt with a couple injuries. Chris was not playing today because of the injury he sustained in the conference championship. Richmond got hurt during the game, but we saw guys like Lucas Ingley step up, get a goal. Michael Leahy, obviously, another big performance in a starting role. Blake Malampy, 19 and 23. What was it like seeing those guys really step up and fill the gaps that were left?
Well, it's tournament time. We're 20 games into a season, and it's a long journey, and there's going to be bumps and bruises, and part of being a great program and a great team and having the opportunity at the end of the year is you've got to have some people that are ready to step up that are very capable. And, Mikey Leahy's really proven down the stretch here in the last 6 or 7 games that when he's on the field, he's a very productive individual. So, we missed Chris in there for sure, but, Mikey, came away with 4 goals today and just did a great job. And English played a little bit more the last few games also too, in a split role, wings on the face-off, subbing in the first line, playing second line, a little D-midi, and he's gotten a little more confidence, and he adds a little bit of depth here as we're going to need at the midfield as we go into the heat and playing the back-to-back games and everything. So it was good to see those guys reap the rewards for some of their efforts and hopefully gain some confidence.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.